Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today for this special webinar all about your School of Study. So the Life of Medical Sciences, we're going to go through a lot of that with you today. So just a sneak peek on some facilities, opportunities, things that are happening within the school as well. Now, this session is recorded, so if anybody's internet drops or you've got friends coming who haven't been able to make the live session today, we will be able to share a copy of this recording later as well, and we'll email around to everybody so that you know when that's ready. We do have a few features that you can use during your time in the webinar. So there's a chat box. You can use that to chat to each other, get to know future fellow students as well. And then we also have a Q&A box. If you do have any questions throughout the webinar, please do use the Q&A box. After the slideshow, we're going to be answering your questions live. If you put them in the chat, sometimes the chat moves quite quickly and we might miss them. So put Q&A in that button there as well. Now, just to introduce to you who we've got on the panel today, my name's Kat. I work in the international office, so I'll be able to help you with any queries regarding start of term preparation or things you need to be doing now to clear your conditions.
Hi everybody, my name's Jess and I work with Kat in the international office.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Phil Porter. I'm the Associate Dean International and Partnerships in the School of Life and Medical Sciences. So I'm responsible for the well-being of our overseas student community, and I'll be talking to you more about that a little later on in the seminar.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. So you're in good hands today. Please do use this opportunity to ask as many questions as you want to as well. Now, just to give you an idea of the format of today's session, so what we're going to do is initially we'll have the introduction to your School of Study so you can learn a bit more about that. Then we'll give you an update on start of term preparation, so some things that you can do now to help you. And after that, we'll go to Q&A. Now, just before we start the slideshow, we're just going to do a quick poll just to get you guys involved as well. So you might have some future classmates in the webinar with you today. So which subject will you be studying? Now, I'm just going to launch this on screen. Okay, so you can see there, you've got a poll on screen. If you do want to take part, that would be amazing so that other people in the audience can get an idea of who's in the session with them. So we've got a range of subjects, so you can scroll down, find yours. Agriculture, bioscience, geography, environment and planning, nutrition and dietetics, optometry, pharmacy and pharmaceutical science, public health or postgraduate medicine, psychology or sport as well. I can see lots of people have already taken part, clicking through their course. So I'll just give a few more minutes to give everyone a chance to participate as well. And then we'll have a look at these results together. This is brilliant to see so many of you getting involved as well. So I'm going to close the poll in just a moment. So if you're still looking to submit your answer, you haven't had a chance to, please do send that through now. Just try it. There we go. Okay, so we can see a good mix of people. There's somebody in the room from all courses apart from optometry, which is great. Lots of people here from bioscience and public health and postgraduate medicine. So you probably have got some classmates in here with you. A few people doing psychology or sport courses, agriculture, and even a few from pharmacy, nutrition, dietetics, geography, environment, and planning as well. So really good range here. And we do have something for everyone to give you a sneak peek of what's to come from your time at Hearts. So what I'll do now is I'm going to pass to my colleague Phil, who's going to take us through a bit more about the programmes.
Okay, thank you, Kat. Can you just confirm you can see my slides okay before I progress?
Yes, we're all good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
lovely.
Phil.
Thank you so much. Great. Very warm welcome to everyone. As I mentioned earlier, I'm Dr. Phil Porter. I'm the Associate Dean International and Partnerships in the School of Life and Medical Sciences. I'm also a geographer, so I teach on our geography and environmental management programs, hence the the very geography themed background that you can see in my slide. Which brings me on to my first slide of the seminar, which is that you will be joining a very diverse and welcoming school. We are without doubt the most diverse school at the University of Hertfordshire in terms of the subjects we offer. Our school logo here on the right of the slide illustrates those subject areas. So we have nutrition and dietetics at the top, as well as agriculture. Going around anti-clockwise, we've got sports, sport therapy, studies, sports science, sports business management, psychology, optometry, pharmacy, pharmaceutical science, and of course, my subject represented by the globe, geography and environmental management and planning. We've also got a fantastically diverse student community, students from all over the globe, which is really wonderful. It's a real strength of our school, and we pride ourselves on being a very friendly and welcoming school. The photo you can see here is our annual or biannual, or twice annual, I should say, actually, welcome back event for our students, which we hold at the start of semester A and the start of semester B. So we like to get all our students together for a social event on campus where we welcome you all and we give away a few free items of school merchandise. So that's something to look forward to when you join us. The photo you can see here, we were giving away t-shirts and tote bags. This year it was woolly hats, which if you're from a warmer climate coming to the UK, you may well welcome, particularly if you're joining us in the autumn term in September, October time. So very diverse school, very welcoming school. We're also fairly expansive in terms of the buildings we occupy on campus. You'll soon realise that we are spread over quite a few buildings. I think it's 12 sites at the current count. So a very large school, but very friendly despite our size. So we split into two departments, clinical, pharmaceutical and biological sciences, psychology, sport and geography. That's obviously my department. But our mantra, our ethos as a school is to train you, our students, so that when you graduate, you have the skills to make a real difference to our world. Our graduates are in very high demand across all the subject areas we teach, and in many areas, demand for trained graduates who are able to tackle today's problems, whether that's pandemics, whether it's climate change, whether it's agricultural productivity, food security, are in huge demand, and that demand shows no sign of abating, and that is clearly shown in our very high employability statistics, which we enjoy across the school. We're also passionate about research-informed teaching. We have a massive research culture, a large number of research colleagues in the school actively doing cutting-edge research. I encourage you all to engage with research active staff to get involved in the research. It's a wonderful opportunity. But of course, this also means your curriculum, your teaching is bang up to date, and you are being taught, or you will be being taught, by some genuine world leaders in the field of research. We're also passionate about equality of opportunity. We've got an award with a scheme called Athena Swan, which represents or addresses, sorry, I should say, the underrepresentation of women in our subject areas, science, technology, engineering, maths, and medicine, the so-called STEM subjects. You're also going to be able to use some fantastic facilities. Our science building, which was built a few years ago now, genuinely state-of-the-art, genuinely world-leading, world-class laboratories. And please don't think that just because you're not doing a wet lab-based science topic, you can't make use of those facilities. You absolutely can. As I mentioned earlier, I teach geography and environmental management. And my project students, for example, regularly make use of the analytical facilities in the science building for their research projects, for example, and for other assessments And this is a real benefit of being a part of this much larger School of Life and Medical Sciences. We have access to all facilities across the school, no matter what your subject area is. We're also one of only 2 universities in the UK to have a field station. This is obviously for those studying geography, environmental management and planning. It's at a place called Bayferbury, which is near to Hertford. We hold regular practicals out there. We provide transport as well. That's all included in your fees. But it's also a wonderful rural location for students who just want to head out there and just enjoy some quiet time, some social time. So that's a wonderful facility which we're very proud of. And finally, and this is just a brief snapshot of the school's facilities, we have a brand new Institute of Sport on the de Havilland campus. Most of the school is located on the College Lane campus, but we have the Institute of Sport on the de Havilland campus. I'll show you a video of that a bit later. That is an absolutely superb facility, and I'll give you some further details on that a bit later on in the seminar. Well, I'm going to run through some videos as we go through, which really showcase our main subject areas. We don't have time to go through all of them, but we'll start with a video giving you an overview of geography and environment. So let's just hope the technology is on our side. Just bear with me a second. It's taking a while to load up. Okay.
My name is Dr. Phil Porter. I'm one of the lecturing staff here at the University of Hertfordshire, and I'd like to spend a few moments telling you why I think the University of Hertfordshire is a great place to come and study geography and environment. Firstly, our location. We're just over 20 minutes from London by train, so we've got access to the capital city, urban geography, transport studies, planning, etc. But we're also surrounded by some beautiful countryside, which is perfect for biogeography, rural geography, conservation and ecology. And we have our very own field station out at Bayferbury, a 20-minute drive from campus, an amazing facility. We teach practical skills, field work, lab classes there. It's also a wonderful location for our students to relax and enjoy social activities too. Secondly, we have a really strong emphasis on practical applied skills acquisition, those skills you need to succeed in the workplace, in the job market. We have a very wide portfolio of field trips and field work. All our compulsory field work, including residential overseas trips, is included in your fees. And we have a wide range of day trips, weekend trips, and longer residential trips on offer. We also strongly believe in our students engaging with staff research. I, for example, have taken students to locations such as the European Alps, Iceland and the High Arctic to support me with my research. So some wonderful opportunities there. And finally, we are a friendly group. We take great pride in the fact that we know all our students by their first name. We have regular staff and student social activities, including weekly coffee mornings, but also, for example, weekend hill walking trips away, where our staff and students come together to enjoy social time. We very much believe in staff-student partnership at Hertfordshire and working together to help you succeed. So those are just some of the reasons why I think Hertfordshire is a fantastic place to come and study geography and environment. And I really hope you'll choose to come and join us, and I can assure you of a very warm welcome.
Okay, so that's just a brief overview of geography and environment, but some common themes to all our programs in there. Our belief in engaging students with research and very much the practical applied focus to make sure you have that competitive edge when you enter the jobs market. So let's just briefly consider some of our other facilities within the school. I can't list everything, as I mentioned earlier, but if we're looking at the pharmacy, pharmaceutical science, and medical subjects, postgraduate medicine, we do have the largest clinical simulation centre in the UK. We have mock pharmacy and mock intensive care units. We've got mannequins which can speak. a bit grim, but we can also make them bleed, for example. So it's as close to a real world scenario as possible. It's a bit like a flight simulator for our students. So being able to practice skills in that controlled environment with very realistic scenarios, very realistic facilities, but obviously with no danger to patients. Nutrition and dietetics, we've got laboratories there to allow students to practice their skills, but also do more analytical work, looking at nutritional content of foods, looking at human metabolism and diet. Over at the Institute of Sport, we have some truly amazing facilities, including a performance testing center where we can artificially increase altitude or decrease altitude to look at human performance, athletic performance. Wonderful facility, and one of only 2 universities in the UK to have a full 3D motion analysis setup. That's a hugely impressive piece of equipment, which you'll see if you're studying one of our sports degrees. Psychology, we've got some incredible VR technology, which is just amazing, mind-blowing when you put that VR headset on and look at some of the scenarios which are there. That is an amazing facility. Even if you're not studying psychology, go and have a look. Our technician Alex will welcome you with open arms if you want to have a play with our VR facilities. He really enjoys showing it to students and visitors. So do go up to the psychology observation suite, no matter what subject you're studying, and have a go with our VR headsets. As we've already seen in the video, for geography and environmental management, we've got a wealth of dedicated laboratories. We've got our field station out at Bayfrey near Hertford. We have a mass of field equipment which we freely allow our students to access. As I mentioned earlier, we are passionate about engaging our students with research. And as mentioned in the video, we have a very wide range of field trips, no matter what degree you're studying in geography or environment, both within the UK, Europe, and as mentioned on the video, I'm very lucky to be able to take students off to locations including the high Arctic. So let's have a look at another area of study within the school then with another video. This time we'll have a quick look at pharmacy and pharmaceutical science. So just wait for this video to load up.
Here at the University of Hertfordshire, we place a strong emphasis on patient-centred outcomes and professionalism within our pharmacy and pharmaceutical science programs. We work with a wide range of employers from the pharmaceutical industry and the NHS, whose input into the design and teaching means our programs meet the changing demands of the workplace. As a direct result of this, we have increased our hours spent in laboratories on the pharmaceutical science course, with particular focus on analytical chemistry and pharmaceutical formulation, and the biology and chemistry that supports these disciplines. We continually invest in industry standard equipment, including formulation development and sterile manufacturing suites, giving students the opportunity to be involved in the whole life cycle of the drug, from its discovery to patient use. Our Master of Pharmacy program is designed with and for patients. We give our students the opportunity to experience placements from the very beginning of their studies for our community, hospital, and industry partners. We make full use of a clinical simulation suite, allowing students to practice their skills in a safe environment, developing key patient-based skills. Pharmacy students also develop multidisciplinary skills through working with other healthcare students. We also offer a wide range of postgraduate programs for qualified pharmacists, overseas pharmacists, and pharmaceutical scientists. The department has a strong research ethos, and our research is rated as internationally excellent in areas such as toxicology, pharmaceutical formulation, development and analysis, patient safety, and drugs of misuse. Our courses are patient and employer focused by design, helping you become successful professionals.
Okay, so that's just a brief overview of pharmacy and pharmaceutical science. Just making reference there to our world-leading research. So you will be taught by genuine world leaders in their field, in whatever subject you're studying with us. Now, one of the things I would urge you all to do is to make the most of the opportunities that are available to you when you come to study with us. So that includes things like engaging with staff research. But I just want to flag the point that our courses are internationally recognised, and you do have opportunities to, for example, get out and go on placement, whether that's short-term placement or if you're on an undergraduate degree, the potential for 1 year in industry. We have fantastic links with local, regional, national, and even international employers, and wonderful range of opportunities for you to travel and to rub shoulders with some of the biggest names in industry. As I mentioned at the beginning, we really do provide graduates who are highly employable, and that's one of the reasons we enjoy such strong relationships with employers across the UK and indeed beyond. Now I'm going to move on to our next video, which is covering biosciences. And on that note of opportunities, this video is hearing from a student on the bioscience program who has or is in placement. So let's have a look at this video and hear about this student's experience on placement.
Hello everyone, my name is Amir Hamza, originally from Pakistan. I'm currently pursuing my BSc Biomedical Sciences at University of Hertfordshire, and currently I'm undertaking my sandwich placement here as a part of my degree. So I'm working as a laboratory technician at Ops Diagnostics, located in Chester, United Kingdom. It is a diagnostic company. It deals with anti-PCRs, and my responsibilities involves working into QC labs and production. So the products we make in production, we test it in QC, and after data analysis, we release the products to the customers. So that's my job. So like my placement and the company, I will give you the whole overview. It is molecular science made easier and more innovative and revolutionized for the PCR and anti-PCR testings for animal and human diagnostics. So my degree, which is biomedical sciences, it includes modules, molecular biology and genetics. So it is completely comparative, and I'm doing what I was studying before. Yeah, it's really good experience because it's a complete shift from the academic and more theoretical part of studies to the practical world, and I know how to deal with the troubleshooting and all the problem-solving skills I developed so far. So it's quite interesting, and I will recommend every single student to go for it. So I discovered this placement on Handshake, but I extensively went to every single option I could, because I went to placement fairs, I attended the placement symposiums, and I recommend don't lose any opportunity, because if I found it on Handshake, it doesn't mean you will find it on Handshake. Reach the company directly and keep your LinkedIn updated, keep your CVs and resumes updated, and keep in touch with the university careers and employment team as well. So my placement here is a complete shift from theoretical knowledge and their application into the real world of diagnostics. In the last year, in level 6, we have research projects like using our knowledge in the practical labs and doing our own research. So I think this will help me a lot in my final year project. First of all, you should go for a placement. I would strongly recommend going for a placement as a part of your degree. It gives you the knowledge and skill enhancement in the real world of technology and diagnostics and whatever you're studying. So seek guidance from your tutors, attend the placement fairs, and leverage yourself with the careers and employment team and the placement team as well, because they guide you in your CVs and SOPs as well. So start applying earlier as possible. So one more thing, at the end, you should be patient and never give up. It takes time.
Great. So that's an overview from one student who went on placement with us. I should note that that's an undergraduate student, so taking a year out from his degree to go and work in industry. One of the things that is really important is to note is that placement a year overseas, which is another option for you. We don't charge fees during that time on placement, so that's a real benefit. And many of our students who go on placement find that they've got a job offer in their back pocket ready for them when they graduate. Very highly regarded are our graduates. And we also generally see students who are on placement as part of their undergraduate degree coming back and attaining higher grades when they return to the university. So that's another benefit of placements. And as you just heard there, go for it. That would be my advice to you all as well. And I should just mention Handshake, which was referenced there, is our online careers portal where you can search for placement and other job opportunities. I'll talk more about that in a second. Now, engagement and attendance. This is really, really important. You need to be ready to start the course when it begins. Because we know from experience that students who don't arrive on campus tend to struggle to catch up. So please do whatever you can to ensure that you're ready to go right at the start of your program. Any issues there, please liaise directly with your program leader. But my very firm advice to you all is to ensure that you are there right from the start. Also, so you don't miss out on the social activities which we put on right at the start of every term during induction week. We do monitor engagement with studies. So you will need to attend face-to-face sessions. And you will need to swipe in with your ID card. There are readers all over the university in teaching rooms, and students generally just tap in at the start of their teaching sessions. That engagement is monitored centrally, so we do need to make sure that your engagement is at a certain level, and if it isn't, then you risk being withdrawn, from the program, which is a situation we wouldn't want any of our students to find themselves in. It's also a good idea to try and live as close to campus as possible. That makes attendance easier. It makes travel less stressful. It also gives you more time and ease to use facilities such as our Learning Resources Centre, but again, also to engage with student social activities without having to worry about a long journey back home. So I really encourage you to try and find accommodation as close to campus as possible. Now, back to employability and the quality of the degrees we offer in the School of Life and Medical Sciences. The vast majority of our programs are accredited by professional bodies. And what this means is that those professional bodies are satisfied that the quality of what we deliver at the University of Hertfordshire is appropriate. The levels of practicals we put on, the amounts of field work we put on, our employability levels are all approved by these accrediting bodies. And there's just a very small sample there of some of the accrediting bodies that have approved our degrees. And we're very proud of the support and indeed the recognition we receive from those professional bodies. Very important to keep this accreditation current and up to date. And it is a real mark of quality. So you can be assured that the content, the delivery, the manner in which we deliver your education and the outcomes we achieve are up there with the very best. Now, coming back to careers and employability and indeed placements, our careers and employment team are superb. They are there to support you every step of the way. And they will also support you after you graduate. So please don't think that you're on your own as soon as you get your degree certificate. You are absolutely not. They are there to help you find placements and other employment opportunities while you're studying with us. And they are absolutely there to support you for 3 years after you graduate. And as I mentioned, Handshake and Student Circus, these are online resources there to help you find jobs, particularly international students on student visas. So please engage with the Careers and Employment Service. Go and introduce yourselves, go and book an appointment as soon as you arrive or as soon as possible. They are a great team. They are there to support you every step of the way. So one last video then for you. This is a video focusing on sports therapy, but it also shows some of the facilities in our wonderful Institute of Sports. So whether you're studying therapy, sports coaching, sports business management, sports studies, sports science, here is the some of the facilities you'll be being taught in and indeed studying in on a daily basis.
Studying sports therapy at Herts will prepare you with the theoretical and practical skills to provide the best care. The course will immerse you in how to assess injuries, apply treatments such as sports massage, electrotherapy, and joint mobilisation. You'll be able to get hands-on with pitch-side injury management, design injury prevention, and rehabilitation programmes. Put your theory into practice with our specialist labs and high-tech facilities, including our dedicated sport injury clinic. You'll also benefit from our simulation centre, where you'll be able to develop your trauma skills with mechanical mannequins. You'll also have the opportunity to undertake a full-year placement to gain clinical experience with professional sports teams or sports injury clinics, giving you a head start in the jobs market. Kickstart your career in sports therapy at Herts.
So as I say, that's focused on sports therapy, but the imagery all there from our Institute of Sports, and just like the VR labs in psychology, even if you're not studying sport, I really recommend you go over and have a look around the Institute of Sport. It is a fantastic facility. Now, I've spoken to you about being taught by international experts in their field. Well, you saw one there in that video halfway through. Joel Harris is the soft tissue massage therapist for the England football team. So there we go. We'll be seeing him pitch side in the Euro Championship, which starts in the middle of June. So he's very, very highly regarded and is one of many experts we have in the team who'll be delivering your education in the School of Life and Medical Sciences. So I just get to the next slide. These are frozen. Okay, there we go. Finally, I just want to end on this note. I mentioned the fact we are a friendly school, despite our size, and we very much are, but we are also a supportive school. We are here to help you, firstly, enjoy your time at the University of Hertfordshire School of Life and Medical Sciences, but also to help you fulfill your potential and attain your very best. So with that in mind, there is a significant network of support units for you, but the one I want to highlight here today is our academic support unit. We have 4 superb colleagues whose pictures are on the screen there, working in the academic support unit. They are there for you every day of the academic year to help you with your generic study skills. So things like referencing, essay writing, report writing, statistics, you name it. If you need help with it, as long as it's a generic skill and not discipline specific, they are there to help you. They run regular workshops, which you can attend if you like, but they also run one-to-one sessions, which can be delivered both online or in person. They do a fantastic job, and I know our students are hugely appreciative of the support they provide, and they really do make a very positive difference to the outcomes for our students. So again, when you arrive with us, go and knock on their door. They will welcome you with open arms, and please remember they are there to support you every step of the way, and that unit is open every day while the university is open. And then finally, a cartoon of me on the left, just another element of our support we provide our students. I run a bi-weekly session for international students called Dr. Phil's Life and Study Skills. We start off in the first week of term, and it's a very informal drop-in. It's held online on Zoom, and it's really to help you make the most of your time in the UK, but also to help you make the most of your studies and again fulfill your potential. So in the early weeks of those Dr. Phil sessions, we cover things like, how to get around the local area on the trains and the buses, how to buy a rail card to save you lots of money on trains, how not to get overcharged for travel in the UK, nice places to go and see around Hatfield and the local region, but also further afield in the UK. We're a very small country, but we are a very geographically diverse country. You don't have to travel too far to get into, for example, stunning mountain scenery. So I'll tell you all about that in those weekly sessions, bi-weekly sessions, sorry. Every 2 weeks we hold those Dr. Phil sessions. Later on in the year, we start to move on to things like study skills. So preparing for assessments, responding to feedback. So more tailored to the needs of our students a bit further on in their academic studies with us. So that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening to me for the last 30 minutes. Do keep in touch. If you have any questions that we're not able to answer today, my email address is on the screen. You're very welcome to drop me an email. Do follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. We're very active, and you can see what we're up to across the school. I've only been able to give you a very, very, very tiny snapshot of what we do in our facilities today, but I hope it's given you some excitement and you're really looking forward to coming to join us. We are certainly very much looking forward to welcoming you to the UK and welcoming you to the University of Hertfordshire School of Life and Medical Sciences. So thanks so much, and I'll hand back to Kat for the question and answer session.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Phil. Lots of great information in there, everybody. So I'm just going to go through a really short update on start of term, things that you can be doing now as well, and then we'll go to the Q&A. So I'll just bring up my slides as well. Excellent. So preparing for the start of term, it feels like a long way off at the minute, but it will come round very quickly. So there's a few things that you just need to be mindful of, just so that you don't have too much to do towards that September start date. So you'll all be at various stages of your application journey. If we look at the diagram on the right, most of you, I'm expecting, will be around the area where you're submitting your conditional documents. You might need to still pay your deposit to secure your place on the course. This is the time where you should be doing those things now. If you're not sure what needs to be done, check your most recent offer email. It'll list any outstanding conditions on there. And if you haven't already paid your deposit, now is the time to do so. We should have sent you an email with a link to the various payment options on our pages, so you can go through that as well. Some of you then may also be invited to complete a sponsorship interview with the university or financial checks as well before you're at that CAS stage. So that's why it's really important to make sure you keep progressing your application, just so that the admissions team can keep moving you through those stages. We have started issuing CAS now for all applicants who are ready. So if you move through those stages, then we can get your CAS out to you so you can start your visa application and beat the summer rush as well. Now, we're just going to do another poll just to get an idea of what you're looking forwards to outside of the academics as well, because there's a lot of other things to do at Herts in your free time around your study sessions. So I'm just going to launch this on the screen. Okay, so this poll's actually multiple choice, so you can click as many as you're looking forwards to. So you might be looking at joining one of the SU societies, exploring the local area in Hatfield or London. You might want to take part in some of the Heart Squad sports activities, or just attending events at the forum with the SU teams as well. So I'll just leave that open for a few minutes. If there's anything listed on not listed on here that you're looking forwards to, pop that in the chat, and you might give some other students some ideas of the things that they can get involved in once they're a student at Herts as well. Brilliant. Lots of answers coming through here. So I'll just leave that open for another moment and then we'll have a look at these results together as well. Excellent. I'm going to close the polling now. Lots of you have participated, which is really good to see the engagement there. But we can see really good mix of things. So a lot of people really looking forward to exploring once they get to the UK. So there's London, there's the Hatfield area. We'll be pushing out a lot of content regarding that, just to give you an idea of the sites around Hatfield as well. Joining a society, I'm going to go through that in more detail in just a moment as well, but that's a really good way to make friends outside of your academic programme who might have similar interests to you as well. Taking part in Heart Squad sport and the SU events is also a brilliant way to meet new friends, make new acquaintances. So we'll carry on with the slides. So just regarding preparing to travel to the UK, we are going to give you a lot more guidance on this on the run up to start of term, because I know it is a lot to think about. We'll start pushing this out to you usually towards the end of July. So you've got around a month or two just to digest everything and take it in at your own pace. But we'll be doing webinars similar to this one with all the focus around start of term, pre-arrival, checklists, packing tips, airport navigation. So you'll receive an invite to those via email probably over the next month or so, and you can feel free to pop along to that as well. And then to accompany our webinars, we'll also be producing our pre-arrival guide. That's going to be updated on our website, especially for the September 2024 intake. And that just has a lot of things on there as well, such as accommodation guidance, travel guidance for getting from the 4 closest airports to Hearts to the campus, things like how to use the buses in the UK. So all that information is on there for you. So we'll push that out when it's ready as well. And again, you can take the time to go through that at your own pace. We'll also be going through the travel requirements, so documents that you need to bring, where you should keep them. So you should always keep important documents in your hand luggage. Those packing checklists I mentioned, airport tips as well. So we'll usually do a free airport collection during International Arrivals Weekend from Heathrow to campus. Now, we'll be sending out more information about that closer to the time as well. And getting to Hearts. So if you're not on the airport collection, how do you get to the campus from the airports? That'll all be covered as well. Now, orientation and freshers. So the week before the main start of term, teams at university, they do an orientation week. That's just a week of activities and welcome sessions to help you settle in before classes start as well. So it's well worth coming that week early to get involved in that if you're able to. And then Freshers Week, that's usually where the UK students will also turn up at the university. There'll be lots of events that week to welcome everybody, socialise, get to know your other classmates as well. So keep an eye on the events calendar on the website. Maybe save it down to your bookmarks or favourites on your browser as well. You'll notice that as we get closer to the time, that will start getting populated with a lot more information about start of term activities. Most of them are free. Some of them you might even get free food available as well, and you can attend as many as you want. They also usually do things like some trips into London, so you can go on a trip with one of the Dean of Students members or an existing student for the first time, even trips to the local supermarkets as well. And I think in the past they've also gone to the Harry Potter Studios tour. Joining a club. So I know in the poll, a lot of you said you were interested in joining societies or Heart Squad clubs, which is excellent as well. So there's lots of different clubs and societies available through the Students' Union. If you do have a particular interest and a club doesn't something for all abilities, whether you're just starting out or it's something new that you've never tried before, or if it's something that you're quite good at, a bit of a professional, you can get involved in those as well. And Heart Squad also runs some free activities for all students. So again, something really good to get a taste, and chaplaincy and religious groups too. Now, some things that you can do now, the university has created a free online workbook called Getting Ready to Study at Hearts. It's completely free. You can work your way through it. You don't need your university logins yet, but we do recommend take your time, work through the modules. We'll put that link in the chat for you, but we'll also be emailing it round over the next few weeks as well. Now, in the workbook, there's lots of things like how to hit the ground running at Herts, tips for academic success. There's also some video guides from existing international students about things they wish they'd known before joining the university as well, and also reference to the various support teams on campus. So if you do need to use their facilities while you're a student, you know who you need to speak to, and you'll already be familiar with what they offer. Book your accommodation, so now is the perfect time to arrange that as well. We do recommend that you aim to live on campus wherever possible, just because of the extra perks that it comes with. So you don't need a UK guarantor. All your utility bills, Wi-Fi and contents insurance are included in that price, so that will help you budget as well. And you've got 24/7 support. So if you accidentally lock yourself out of your room, you need assistance, you've got that there with you. Not to mention, you've got all the facilities on campus right on your doorstep as well. If you are looking to live off campus, now the university rule is you need to live a maximum 2 hours and 30-mile commute from campus. Now, I do stress that is the maximum. We would recommend that you live in the Hatfield area so that you can walk to your lectures, because that's going to make it a lot more cost effective for you. If you are looking to live somewhere you need to use public transport, do your research. What's going to be the commute cost? What's the commute time? What time are you going to have to leave to get in for those early morning or later evening lectures? So look at National Rail website, Uno Bus website. If you're going to be travelling in the morning, which most of you will have to, on National Rail, you will be using peak time prices as well. So this is all why we say live on campus or within walking distance if you can, because then you don't have to worry about the commute costs. If you are living off campus, we also stress that you please look at PAL accredited landlords and accommodation. So the PAL website is linked on our accommodation page on the Herts website. PAL is a scheme that the university set up with the local council to make sure all the properties that are listed on that website match what the images look like. Any deposit you have to pay will be held securely, and all the landlords have been vetted as well. So you know they're trusted landlords, trusted properties. So please do use that for your property search as well. And as we've mentioned, clear your outstanding conditions. Now is the time to be doing that. Some of you might be able to get scholarships or discounts as well, so you can check out those emails we've been sending you and make sure you don't miss out on getting some tuition fee discount. And now we're just going to watch a final video with some students who are giving a tour of some of the accommodation options on campus.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and today I'm going to show you all of the amazing things of why did I choose to live on College Land campus. First, let's start with my bedroom. It's so close to classes and contains everything that you need. And here's my kitchen, where I get to meet all of my flatmates. However, for larger gatherings, we have got common rooms. Perfect for everything from group yoga to movie nights. And not to forget the oval. It's great to have a team of support staff to help with just about everything. And a gym for those post-lecture workouts. That really is everything you need on campus. Whether you like to go for a walk outdoors, or if you like to get your focus to the max in the RRC. Looking for a quiet space to pray, meditate or reflect? Well, the key is the place to visit. Whatever faith you have or even you have none. Here in the Hutton Hub, you can access to all kinds of information with our Ask Herts Hub. For the best night out, I definitely visit 77 here at the Forum. Over to you, Judith.
Hi everyone, welcome to De Havilland. I'm Judith and I'll be showing you why living here is amazing. The bedrooms are particularly great. You have absolutely everything you need in here. Say hello to the kitchen, where all the cooking and catching up with flatmates happens. In need of support? There's a whole team of staff ready to help here in the accommodation office. And just next door is the common room. Many a games night have been hosted in here. When you're feeling extra energetic, you can head over to the Sports Village. It's great to come over after classes too, get a workout in at the gym, or take a dive in the huge pool. Just like College Lane, this campus has its very own LRC. And also, the beautiful Cafe Ambition, with its great music and even better coffee. So that's a wrap. Thanks for coming along with us. Hope to see you on campus soon.
Okay, thank you so much for listening, everybody. We know you've been waiting patiently for this section, so I'll now pass to Jess, who's going to give us a few of your questions. So if you do have other questions, pop them in the Q&A now.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kat and Phil. Brilliant session. I've learnt loads. And I've got a great question here that I'm going to ask both Phil and Kat. So Phil, I'm going to pose it to you first, and then Kat, I'm going to pose it to you. So the question is, what advice would you give a new student who wants to become a successful candidate and student at the University of Hertfordshire?
Well, my advice is to make lots of friends in your first few days, engage with all the social activities that are available for you. Obviously, join lots of clubs. Don't join too many. There's always a temptation to join loads and loads of clubs. But, just choose the interest that you're really passionate about. So that's what I would say on the social front. And on the academic front, I would just reiterate what I said earlier. Get involved with staff who are doing research. I've seen students who've perhaps been a bit struggling a bit with their studies. They've got engaged with research, and it's really energized them, and they've gone on to achieve fantastic grades and gone on to great things. I've seen that happen so often. So yeah, go and knock on the doors of academic staff if you're interested in their research. Have a chat to them, get involved. You won't regret it.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Phil. And Kat, what would be your advice for our new students arriving?
Yeah, similar to what Phil said. And as we said, just keep an eye on your calendars, so your academic calendar and your events calendar. Make sure that you're keeping yourself organized, really. So maybe start off with a planner so you know where you've got to be each day so you're not missing things. Download all the things that are going to help you. So like the Hearts mobile app for wayfinding. This is really good when you're a new student because you can put the room number in where your lectures are. It'll tell you exactly where that is. And just get involved, and don't be afraid to sort of go to these events, even if you don't know anyone at the start, because that's how you're going to have the best time at university, when you've got those connections with you.
That's brilliant advice. Thank you so much, both of you. Phil, I've got a really interesting question for you. A student has said, please could you tell us a bit more information about the lab facilities for MSc Psychology, the conversion course? And also, Kat, this could be a question for you. Do you know if there's kind of an official Facebook group, or Phil, you could answer this as well, for the specific department as well for the psychology programme?
Yeah, okay, great. Good question. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, you've got access to all the laboratories across the entire school, no matter what degree you're doing. In psychology specifically, we've got the observation room and the VR suite, which you will have full access to. There's also the computer clusters. There are also specialist research laboratories in the psychology building, which again, you may use. It depends on the particular area of study and research. But as I've just mentioned, I would strongly encourage you to get involved with that staff research, so you are getting exposed to the full suite of facilities and opportunities that we have available. So yes, don't be shy is also something I would say. We're a big school, we're a friendly school. I know I keep saying this, but it's true. So go and knock on doors. If something looks interesting, poke your head round the door and find out what's going on. You are a student of the school. You've got as much right as any other student to engage with all the school facilities. Going back to the earlier question, if I may, just very briefly, the other thing I would remember always, and I tell all my international students this, just remember how good you are, how much you've achieved by being offered a place at university, whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate. That is a massive, massive, massive achievement, as is coming to another country to study. It's a huge achievement. So please remember that every day as you're going through. Give yourself a firm pat on the back. That will help you during some of the, if there are difficult times. Just remember how good you are and how much you've achieved. And I do mean that. In terms of Facebook groups and things, we do have the Twitter and the Instagram feed. We also have a Facebook feed for Life and Medical Sciences. That's less active now. We find that students tend to prefer Instagram and Twitter. However, there are groups for the various societies. There is a psychology society, so you could obviously get engaged with that. And it's a student-led society, so it's only as good as the students who contribute to it. And I would encourage you to do that.
That's brilliant advice, Phil. Thank you so much. And the facilities sound absolutely fascinating and brilliant. We've had a few questions, Phil, about the facilities in general for lots of specific courses. So for MSc Public Health, for quite a few different ones. Let me have a look. So, is there a kind of an overview or kind of a web page where students could have a look at the facilities?
Yeah, no, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, I've only been able to give you a very small snapshot, but if you go to your course page and if you go to the school page, which will be linked from your course page, you will find the details of the facilities there. And the other thing I would say to all applicants on this call is again, don't be shy. Pick up the phone, drop an email to the program lead, drop an email to the admissions tutor, ask the question, what facilities are there? What will I have access to, etc., etc. If in doubt, do ask. We're all employed to help you. We're all employed to support you. So please don't be shy. If you do have questions, drop me a line, speak to the admissions tutor, speak to the program leader. If we can't answer your question, I guarantee you will find somebody who can. I did just see something pop up in the chat. Is there an environmental management group? Yes, there is. There's a very active Society for Geography and Environment.
Fantastic, Phil. Thank you so much. Brilliant advice there. I've got another question for you, Phil. Brilliant questions, everybody. Thank you so much. This student has asked, can I know about the study patterns for the courses? And also about the different assessment methods that would be used during the undergraduate and postgraduate courses.
Yeah, absolutely. Study patterns, we publish our timetable in August, so you will be able to get an idea of that. But again, if you want advance notice, as far as we're able to give it, I would speak to your admissions tutor or your program lead. They won't be able to confirm your timetable yet. It does vary between programs. It depends what you're studying. But even if they can't give you exact days and times at this stage, because it's not published till August, they will be able to give you an indicative timetable based on the current academic year. It usually doesn't change much. So someone said, please make a group for environmental management. Don't worry, there already is one. But anyway, yes, the timetable is unlikely to change much, but it will be published to students in, I think it's late August, although I may not be completely correct there. In terms of assessment methods, you'll be, if I was doing a public talk with students in the room, I would say hands up who likes exams, and nobody generally puts their hand up. Assessment methods are many and varied. So if you go to the program page, you will see key fact sheets about your course. You'll also see a much longer document called the program specification. There you will find details of assessments. But to be honest, the easiest thing to do, again, is to drop the program leader an email or give them a telephone call. They'll be able to fill you in on that. But we are, as an institution, certainly as a school, very much moving away from formal exams and more into in-class tests and assessed coursework. But a huge variety. I mean, we could spend the next half hour going through the various assessment techniques. But yes, great variety, but it will be dependent on the particular programme.
Brilliant, thank you, Phil. And really good for students to be aware of those assessment methods and start preparing those too. Thank you. So there's been quite a few questions about the deposits. So is there a deposit deadline? Are there any discounts or scholarships available currently? And are you able to give us an overview of where we could find the liability date as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Really good question as well. shows that you're really organising yourselves. So with deposits, if you haven't paid your deposit yet, we do just advise students make that payment as soon as you can. If you've got the funds there ready to go, send them through, because that's when we can then start progressing your application. Admissions are already issuing CAS now for September, so if you can get to CAS stage, it means you can start your visa application. There are scholarships available, so if you go to the Hearts website, search scholarships, you'll find the international page. Some of the scholarships will require you to pay your deposit by a certain date as well. Usually, if they're eligible to you, you will have received an email advising you about them, so you know they're happening. But do double check those, check back through your emails if you're not sure if you might have missed it. Liability dates, also we'll be emailing those around to you, but if you just go on to the international section of the website, again, the fees and scholarships section, there's a whole page in there about liability dates for you as well. Usually that £5,000 deposit that you need to pay, that'll be a certain percentage of your fees. So then there might just be a smaller amount that you need to top up by that first liability date as well. But make sure you've got all that to hand and ready to go so you don't fall behind before you've started.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kat. Phil, do you have time for me to ask you one final question?
Certainly do. Yeah, fire away.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So we've had students ask, are there any extra courses that they need to do to be able to join MSc Medical Microbiology, and anything that, additional that they need to do to prepare for that course as well?
Yeah, that's a great question, and unfortunately, as a humble geographer, it's not one I'm going to be able to address, I'm afraid. But if the applicant who's asked that question wants to drop me an email, I will very happily put them in touch with the relevant colleague in the school who'll be able to give full details. So yeah, so either drop me an email directly and I will help you with that question, or obviously you can drop the international office an email and they will make sure that gets to me. So yes, apologies, I can't answer that one directly, but I will get an answer for the applicant.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Phil. And thank you for all of your questions, everybody. I'll now pass back to Kat.
Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. So as Jess said, really good questions there. If you do still have questions we haven't been able to answer, please do reach out to us. I'll give you the international office contact details as well. If you did enjoy hearing Amir Hamza's student story, we do have a few more student stories on our international Instagram reels and also our international YouTube as well. We'll be adding more as we get new students who want to share their experiences as well. But do go check those out. They really give you a good perspective from the students who've gone through what you're going through now as well. We'll also be doing some live Q&As on Instagram throughout the summer to help with start of term, so you'll get notified when those happen too. But do check out the international website pages for any additional details, such as we've said, the fees, scholarships, liability dates, accommodation. If you're not sure what you need to do next, you can contact international@hearts.ac.uk, or you can contact your agent or in-country rep if you've been speaking to them as well. For any urgent queries, our phone lines are open for you too, and there are a few of our social media channels if you do want to keep an eye on what's going on and events that are happening to help you with your journey. But thank you so much for joining us today. We'll just play one short video, but colleagues, if you need to leave for the meetings, that's fine now as well. And we can't wait to welcome you to Hearts in September.